Hey guys, Saiyan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be doing the team building guide for the GT Trio EZA that is going to be coming out on Global in less than 12 hours. I will be live when the EZA comes out. It comes out the same time as we're getting the new Super Battle Road stage, which I've also done a team building guide for. So I'll be doing both of those things live on the stream. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, all that stuff, because I do post all over all of my social medias when I am going live, because you know what YouTube notifications can be like sometimes. So hopefully I'll see you guys at the stream where we will be going through this live. So we're going to do the team building guide for this EZA. It is a standard LR EZA, so it's only 10 stages. And obviously each one gives you 3 stones, so you still get your 30 stones. You do also get the 5 Kais that you need to get them to SA 25. You get 30 stones. And you get a bunch of int orbs, as well as obviously all the medals. There's a couple of missions as well, but actually no, there's literally only one. Beat stage 7 gives you 3, so you're going to get 33 stones overall. So the weakness category, obviously with all LR EZAs, you want the Link legendary power to be active in order to do more damage. It is still possible to beat these LR EZAs even with a full team with no LRs, right? I've done this before with some of the other LR EZAs. It's just the fact that having that Link active makes you do more damage, so obviously it is going to be easier if you have more EZAs on the team, but not necessary to have them in order to beat it. And the actual weakness category for the units that you want to bring when it comes to defense, because any units not in this category are obviously going to take more damage, is Bond of Friendship, which is of course the category that is one of the new tech pans. Leader skill, it's pretty much par for the course what they do now, right? They obviously make the new summonable unit the effective leader for these new EZAs as a way to try and encourage you to summon for them. But with Bond of Friendship being such a big category, there are a lot of ways to get around this, even if you don't have any of the actual Bond of Friendship leaders. So, like with all my team building guides, I'm going to go through my top picks and honourable mentions. If there are any units that I didn't talk about that you think I should have, then obviously let me know down below in the comments section. And if you do find the guide helpful at all, do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, Bond of Friendship, as I said, is a huge category. One of the big saving graces of this category is it has a lot of Gokus in it. Most of the Gokus, in fact. Not all of them, but a lot of very good Goku units are in this category. So obviously that gives you the opportunity to use any characters that have like a Goku family leader skill. They'll obviously be useful here for building this team. And of course, if you're running a Goku family leader skill and the whole team is Bond of Friendship characters, you could still then run a friend pan in the event as well, because everyone will still be getting the full leader skill, and she is of course a Goku family unit, so she will be as well. So speaking of Pan, obviously she is the new summonable unit. She has a 200% leader skill for Bond of Friendship and Dragon Ball Seekers if they're on GT Heroes as well. So there are a lot of units that fall under that category for this EZA. So even though she has type advantage, she's probably the best leader to use, because obviously you can use any Bond of Friendship unit because she covers the whole category, and she's able to do a lot of damage. Obviously her one weakness is that she loses her damage reduction after attacking, so when you get into like the harder stages, if she super attacks and then gets supered, she could potentially take quite a bit of damage. But unless you're getting towards the very end, like stage 9 or 10, she's probably going to survive. So she is the top pick for the lead for the team. And then obviously, depending on who else you're bringing, you have the option to get all of her different unit super attacks. She can get multiple supers off. She's stacking her attack. Her active skill, she has to perform 5 or more attacks, so you're probably never going to get to see this, right? Because even if she triple supers on turn 1 or 2, she has to then double super on the other turn 1 or 2, and then you'd be able to use it on her 3rd turn, which is like turn 5. So EZAs don't usually last that long anyway, so you're probably not going to see her active skill, but very, very good. Next up we have Kale and Khalifa. They are the existing Bond of Friendship leader, so if you have them, Obviously, you can run them, run a Pan friend, and just run a full Bond of Friendship team. They're not super great in shorter events because they do stack up over time. But, you know, I would consider them like a last resort if you don't have anyone else to use as a leader. But as we've already discussed at the beginning, there are some options that you can use without actually having to run a proper Bond of Friendship like leader skill. So, honestly, these guys are probably like a last resort, and I wouldn't put them on the team even if you were running a different build. Like if you had Pan, right, these guys wouldn't qualify as a top tier Bond of Friendship unit for this particular event because of their type disadvantage, and they're not an LR, so obviously they're not the most optimal unit to bring. But if you have to use them for the leader skill, it is there. So next up we have the Trunks and Gearu. I thought I'd give them a shout out, just an honourable mention. They do have a Bond of Friendship leader skill, so if you did summon for Pan and you pulled them and not her, then obviously you could use them as the leader and run a friend Pan. They do give a lot of support. They support GT Heroes, Bond of Friendship, and Dragon Ball Seekers. They also give 10% extra support if you get 7 orbs, which is pretty easy because they create a lot of orbs themselves. So they're a unit that can be really good on the team. Even units that are like only in Bond of Friendship, right? Or even if they're not in any of the categories, although you're unlikely to be bringing them into this event, right? Because you want to bring Bond of Friendship units. But that 10% buff they give by getting 7 orbs, they do give that to everyone. So obviously they are a very handy unit to bring on the team. They give all of the support if the units are in all the categories. So they give units like Pan 70% support. So very, very good. Then next up, we're going to start talking about some of the LRs. So we've got UI Goku. I don't think you can make a full Miraculous Awakening and Reps of Universe 7 team that is all Bond of Friendship, because most of the units on those two teams are just going to be Gokus. But this guy's going to be good on the team, obviously. 70% chance to dodge, 50% chance to crit on super, which then if he gets an additional is a guaranteed crit. So all in all, he's just a very solid unit for these kind of events. It's not like the red zone, right, where if he doesn't dodge 1 or 2 attacks, then you potentially die, because EZAs are not as hard hitting. So he definitely can be worthwhile as a unit for dishing out damage. Then we have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, got his EZA during the anniversary. He's a good stand-in leader if you want to run just a full Goku family team of units that are on Bond of Friendship, because he does have the 180% leader skill. So you could literally make a team that is him, a bunch of Gokus, or like, you know, Pans or Gohans or whoever's in Bond of Friendship, and then run a Pan friend, and then that team is going to function very, very well. So he's very good. Has an active skill that is just automatically available on turn 4. So if you do get to turn 4, you can basically use that as like a finisher, because post EZA that does do pretty good damage. So he's going to be a very solid option. Even if you're running Pan or any of the other leaders, very good option for the team. But one of the better stand-in leaders, considering how many Goku family units are on Bond of Friendship. So next up we have the new Super Saiyan Goku. Even though he has type advantage, he obviously got a type disadvantage, right? He guards, and if he gets hit first, he has types effective against all types. So attacks effective against all types. So it doesn't actually matter that he has type disadvantage, because he wants to be a slot 1 unit anyway. So he's really good for the team. He has the revival. He's just honestly like a solid unit, right? Like I would probably say, if I was putting my team together, I would just use Pan as the lead, because obviously I do have her. And then I think this guy is probably like the next unit I would put on the team, right? And use him as a slot 1 defending unit. So very, very good. Can save you with the revival, because obviously it applies to everyone on the rotation. So if you start the turn at 59% or less HP, then obviously any unit is going to be able to die and then trigger his revival. So very, very good unit, especially if you're struggling with the later stages. That revival can certainly come in clutch. So next up we have the other Super Saiyan Goku LR, the Int Namek Goku. Now remember, in EZAs you can't use units with the same name, so you can't use him and the tech one. I guess it depends, right? The Int one is obviously going to be putting out a bit more damage, especially because you can put him in slot 1 or slot 2, especially in the earlier stages. You can put him in slot 1, where he can take a hit and get that guaranteed additional super. So if he's got legendary power active and he's firing off a couple of super attacks, he's obviously going to be able to do quite a lot of damage. So I think it just comes down to if you do have both of the LR Super Saiyan Gokus. There are other LR Super Saiyan Gokus, but I think these are the two main ones, right, that you're going to want to run. It probably just comes down to which one do you have the most dupes, which one have you like link leveled the most. Because the revival comes in clutch for the tech one, but you could probably find yourself going all the way through without ever needing it. Whereas I feel like this guy's going to put out quite a lot of damage. You can't use his active skill, unfortunately, because you have to be against an extreme class enemy, but he's going to be very good at putting out damage. Next up, we have this Goku from Super Battle Road. He can be decent, right? He's a support unit. He has a chance to dodge. I really only included him because he's a support unit for the team, but he's also an LR. So obviously he's going to trigger legendary power and just help out some of the other units to deal more damage, not just through that link, but also because of the fact that he has support. So then we have the Kaioken Goku from part 2 of the anniversary. Very, very strong offensive unit. Obviously not getting his full buffs because you're not fighting against a Vegeta, but he is just very, very powerful. He's the kind of unit you can throw on the team and even just have him as like a floating third slot unit, and he's just going to deal a ton of damage. So he also has an active skill that can be used when HP is 59% or less. So if you get to the later stages and you end up taking a bunch of damage in turn 1, you can immediately use this on turn 2 and get a bunch of extra damage. So that can be very useful as well. He is literally just an all-out damage machine, and so he's going to be very useful in this event. Get legendary power active and just do a ton of damage. So then we have the Str Ui Goku. Obviously we already talked about the AGL one. Basically the same thing, right? Has the dodge, builds up with each dodge that he gets. You can run them together and have him linked up with the AGL one, and that will be a very good rotation. Not really much else you really need to say about him, right? Just going to be a very good straightforward unit that is always going to be good in these EZAs because of that dodge chance. So yeah, very solid. Next up we have the B-Pan. So I showed off B-Pan on the Tech Pan's 200% leader skill team the other day. She is actually pretty good still. In the later stages she might take a bit of damage from a super, but obviously with the fact that she heals based on the damage she does, especially in EZAs where you can't use items to heal, she can be very, very useful. And I feel like if you are struggling with the later stages, this is a unit that can help you out just thanks to all of that free healing. And she's a free-to-play unit, so definitely a very, very good option. Next up we have the 1000-day Spirit Bomb Goku. Now, I mean, the version of him that's only any good really is the one that you only get the EZA medals if you've played for 2000 days. So I know a lot of people probably aren't even going to have him at all. And even with his EZA, he's honestly not even that great. But he is also a unit that can give a ton of healing. And of course, he's just another LR that can activate legendary power. So shout out to anyone who does have this guy. I think I'm up to like 2,250 now. So anyone else who has this guy as well, shout out to you. But obviously, he really doesn't even really deserve an honorable mention. But I thought I'd throw him in there anyway, right? For anyone who does have him. So let me know down below in the comment section if you do. So then we have this guy, the version Z free-to-play LR Goku. Again, he's a support unit. He has an active skill, but it's 5th turn, so you're not very likely to see that. But he has type advantage. He's an LR. He's on the category. What more do you need, right? Very, very good. And he's a unit that basically everyone is going to have. So very solid option. Then we have the free-to-play, the LR Prime Battle Krillin. A bit wonky links-wise because of some of the other units, although he does link up okay with the version Z Goku. Not the best, but they link up reasonably well. And obviously he's just, again, an LR with type advantage. Gets extra ki when you're facing one enemy. So obviously you want to go for his 18 ki because his 12 ki is just the AoE, which you don't need to do in a single enemy battle. So he can just be a decent unit that can put out some extra solid damage. And then the Broly Trio is the other unit that could actually come in very handy. Another LR with type advantage. If you get 7 orbs, they obviously have the guaranteed dodge. So if you are running like the Trunks and Gearu, or if you wait to do this EZA because we're getting the Chilai and Farsha double rates banner, it comes out I think like 5 days after this EZA comes out. So if you did want to wait and you do pull on that banner and get the Chilai, then the rotation of her with the Broly Trio is obviously very good because she also creates a ton of orbs and makes it a lot easier for them to pick up 7. But even if they're not able to pick up 7 orbs, they're an LR in the right category with type advantage. So it's not like they're going to take a ton of damage anyway. So very, very good, solid unit. So I thought we'd mention a few TURs now as well. Mainly a lot of Gokus, especially ones that have type advantage. So Heart Virus Goku, obviously a unit that very, very good tank in shorter events. Because for the first 5 turns, he has a huge amount of damage reduction. He has built-in chance to additional, built-in chance to crit. Like, he's just a very, very solid unit. Now, he's not an LR, so obviously he's not going to be doing crazy damage. But very good defensive unit, has type advantage, definitely a solid option. Then we have the GT Dokkan Fest Goku, another very good unit for Pan's team, especially because he triggers all of her like unit supers and active skill requirement and everything. Has type advantage. He's a Goku family and GT Heroes lead, so he covers a lot of the units that we've mentioned already. So he's a very solid unit to bring. Orb Changer, does tons of damage if you pick up loads of orbs. Pretty self-explanatory. He can be very, very good as well. So then we have this guy, the Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Again, not really much we need to say about this guy, right? He can put out a ton of damage from turn 3 if you're at 77% or less HP, which can be pretty easy in this event, right? It's not necessarily going to hit super hard, but you could see that happen fairly often. You can transform into the Super Saiyan 3 and then just go even more crazy and dish out even more damage. So even as a TUR and not going to be having legendary power active, there could be turns where this guy's going to put out insane amounts of damage anyway, right? So definitely very good. And another Goku family unit, so very good option. Then next up we have the free-to-play Gohan and Goku exchange from the recent worldwide celebration. Obviously this unit wasn't out on JP when this EZA came out for them. Basically they're just a unit that will fit decently well onto the team. They have the chance to dodge, 70% chance to dodge in fact for the first 5 turns. So very, very good. And then of course once they've dodged 3 attacks they get an extra buff. And then once they've dodged 6 attacks they can exchange. Depends how quickly you will or won't be able to get that, but I feel like this is just a solid free-to-play option that you could run if you are running out of other options. So they really are just an honourable mention more so than anything else. Then we have Str Goku and Gohan. Again, they have another leader skill that can be very good for this setup. Very good unit, not great for slot 1, but once they've super attacked, good defense, has a chance to dodge. You're probably not going to get to the point where you're built up enough to exchange into Gohan, because even if they double super on their first or second turn, they can't transform until turn 5 anyway. So, you know, very good unit, good leader skill, just a solid option to bring. Namek Goku, another unit who you could make a leader skill out of, right? Because there's a ton of Gokus that will be on Super Saiyans who are all on Bond of Friendship. Just got his EZA recently. Very solid unit. Again, not a huge amount we need to say about this guy. Just very, very good. Then we have this Yardrat Goku, who's another solid free-to-play option. He can get counters as the second or third attacker. He can dodge as the first attacker. Really, his best role on the team is going to be second or third slot and then just throwing out a bunch of counters. But he can be a very, very good free-to-play option. We have the GT Trunks and Goten, good support unit for the team because obviously they support Goku family, which we've covered a ton of Goku family units. They obviously fit very well onto Pan's team, so just a solid support option, good for supporting the LRs. Then I thought we'd include the Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa as an honourable mention. There's a few Kale and Khalifas on the Bond of Friendship category that could be pretty good. This one has the built-in chance to dodge and can counter super attacks. A lot of the other Kale and Khalifas could have been honourable mentions as well, but I thought we'd only include one. We can just go over some of the other ones briefly at the end. And then I thought we'd include these guys. I put this guy here because obviously you want to run him alongside this guy who has type advantage, but these two together as a rotation will be very, very good, right? Damage reduction, they're supporting each other. They can dish out a ton of damage, so they'll be very good, even though they are not LRs either. So those are the top picks and honourable mentions. If we go back to the list, I mean, there's a few other LRs here that can be good, like Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku's quite outdated. Kale and Khalifa, if you are running a team with a bunch of Kale and Khalifas, then obviously they can be very good. God Goku's pretty outdated, but he does at least have the dodge chance, so maybe he could be useful. And then yeah, as we go down, like there's just a bunch of Gokus. Boo's good, right, for dodging in the early turns. Again, the Kale and Khalifa is like Tech Khalifa, even though she doesn't have a 100% chance to dodge in this event. If you're building a team that is basically like full Universe 6 Peppy gals, right, like the STR Kale, some really good ones on here, she's going to have a very high dodge chance anyway. So definitely very good. But as you can see just by looking at this list, there are a ton of Gokus on here. A lot of really good physical units as well. So this EZA shouldn't be too difficult. Unless, of course, you are like a newer player and you just are missing a ton of the units off of here. But the fact that so many Gokus are on Bond of Friendship definitely makes this one a little bit easier when it comes to building a team. So let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said at the beginning, if there's any units that I missed out that you think I should have talked about because they would really help out in this event, let us know down below in the comment section. And let me know what your team build for this EZA is going to look like. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Hopefully I will see you guys at the stream when we go through this live. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.